Welcome to Maths and Science by IITian channel. In this lecture, I will be taking up a very good example on limits and continuity. And here we have to solve a typical problem in limits and continuity, and we have to plot the function, the answer. What we have to find out is d by dx of limit n tends to infinity x to the power of n minus a by n square whole divided by e to the power of x minus b divided by x square. Now here n and x are involved and we have to find out the d by dx, and first we have to find out the limit of n tends to infinity. What will be this value? It's a very good example. Try to understand it and see till the end, and how to plot it also. I'll give some hints for you, and we'll plot in the next lecture. What is the question here? Question here is to find d by dx. Let's take the first part. Plotting will take up afterwards. Find d by dx of limit n tends to infinity. Here you just see x is not tending to infinity, n is tending to infinity. X to the power of n minus a by n square. You just see. Nothing is straightforward here. Whole divided by e to the power of x minus b by x square is equal to how much? And we have to plot afterwards. And after getting the answer, we will be plotting. Now we will be solving this problem. It gives a lot of insight in the concepts. Once you are thorough with the concepts, you will be able to answer any question of this type in the examination very easily. Please try to understand the concepts in mathematics. Now, what is inside? It is limit. First, what we have to find out? Limit n tends to infinity x to the power of n minus a by n square whole divided by e to the power of x minus b by x square is equal to how much? This is the first step. Now, let us try to solve for the numerator. Limit n tends to infinity x to the power of n minus a by n square is equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 by n minus a by n square x to the power of. Now, you just imagine for any value of x except for 0 and infinity, what will be the value of 1 by n minus a by n square if n tends to infinity? Just try to understand this power. What is the power value here? Power is equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 by n minus a by n square. That is equal to 1 by infinity minus 1 by infinity square. That is equal to 0. That means in this value, limit n tends to infinity x to the power of 1 by n minus a by n square, it gives limit n tends to infinity x to the power of 1 by n minus a by n square is going to give you limit n tends to infinity x to the power of 0, because we have found out this value as 0. When you substitute n as equal to infinity, then it becomes 0. That is equal to limit n tends to infinity x to the power of 0 is 1. That means for any value of n, the value of numerator is equal to 1, because there is no variable called n in the one value. Hence, limit n tends to infinity x to the power of n by a minus a by n square is equal to 1. That is a numerator value. Now, what is the denominator? Denominator is limit n tends to infinity e to the power of x minus b by x square. As there is no variable n involved in this, please try to understand this. As there is no variable n here, limit n tends to infinity, limit tends to any value, n tends to any value. This is a constant. Hence the value will remain the same. Like 1 is a constant, the value remains 1. This constant will remain same because there is no variable n in the denominator. Hence it becomes e to the power of x minus b by x square. Now, let us come to the answer. Limit n tends to infinity. This is one part of the answer. Again, we have to find out the differential d by dx of this value. X to the power of n minus a by n square whole divided by e to the power of x minus b by x square is equal to, numerator we have got it as 1, denominator we have got it as e to the power of x minus b by x square. Then, because 1 by something is equal to 1 by a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of minus m, then it implies limit n tends to infinity x to the power of n minus a by n square whole divided by e to the power of x minus b by x square is equal to e to the power of b minus x divided by x square. This is the answer which we have got for the limit. Half part of the problem is now solved. Now, let us try to find out the d by dx of this value, derivative of this value. D by dx of limit n tends to infinity x to the power of n minus a by n square whole divided by e to the power of x minus b by x square is equal to d by dx of e to the power of b minus x by x square. Now the problem lies in finding the derivative of this. How to find the derivative? We have to use the chain rule. For this, using chain rule, we have to use the chain rule in this. Now, how to use it? Please remember the chain rule. Here what we have to find out? D by dx of e to the power of b minus x by x square. E to the power of b minus x by x square. This is what we have to find. Now, let us say this b minus x by x square is equal to some function. Let b minus x by x square is equal to some function x. Then take the derivative of it, implies function dash x is equal to d by dx of b minus x by x square. That implies function dash x is equal to b by x square. What happens? Minus 2b x to the power of minus 3 plus minus 1 by x will become 1 by x square, that is x to the power of minus 2. That will be x minus 2b by x cube. This much you will be knowing, because d by dx of x to the power of n is equal to n into x to the power of n minus 1. That principle we have used here. Since d by dx of x to the power of n is equal to n into x to the power of n minus 1. This principle we have used and we got this value for a function dash x. Now, we have to find out the value for e to the power of b minus x by x square. E to the power of b minus x by x square is equal to, it will be e to the power of function x. Do you agree? Let us say that is g of x. Then ultimately we have to find the derivative of this. Derivative of this left hand side. Now when we go for the derivative, that will be d by dx of gx, that is equal to g dash x is equal to d by dx of e to the power of e to the power of b minus x by x square, that is equal to d by dx of e to the power of function x. That implies these basic principles, be thorough. This is a very important equation, be thorough. Try to understand. If you have any problems in understanding, please put a request in the comment column. I will explain you further. This is chain rule. Now, what I am going to get now? G dash x, the answer is equal to d by dx of e to the power of some function x will be e to the power of x is equal to e to the power of x only. E to the power of function x will be e to the power of function x into function dash x, because d by dx of e to the power of x is equal to e to the power of x. And if it is a function x, we will go for the derivative of that function x also multiplied by. Now g dash x is equal to, that is the answer which we are supposed to get, e to the power of function x into function dash x. You know the value of function dash x, which we have already found out, x minus 2b by x cube. E to the power of function x, we already know that is gx, that's nothing but gx. E to the power of minus b minus x by x square into function dash x is nothing but x minus 2b by x cube. Now the final answer is d by dx of limit n tends to infinity x to the power of n minus a by n square whole divided by e to the power of x minus b by x square is equal to x minus 2b by x cube into e to the power of b minus x by x square. This type of problems involving multiple concepts are very common in competitive examinations. Here the chain rule is also explained and limits and continuity is also explained. When we have combined the derivative principles of chain rule along with the limits and continuity by finding the limits, we could get this answer. Try to understand the concepts. If you want, you see the lecture 2 or 3 times more number of times. Understand the concept, how a limit can be found out, and how that limit, after finding the limit, how to go for the chain rule principle and get the final answer. Now the question is, here b is a constant, x is a variable, and this I will call it as some g dash x is equal to some y. If I call this value as y is equal to g dash x, that means I can plot for different values of x the values of y. If b is taken as a constant, how to plot it, we will see in the next lecture. I will continue. Plotting we will see in the next lecture. Thank you for listening to me. I want to stop here now. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for viewing my lecture. Best of luck to everybody. And if you feel there is a value addition because of this lecture to you, kindly hype this lecture, share this lecture, and subscribe to my channel Maths and Science by IITian. Thank you. Best of luck to everybody.